Alright, Shalom. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Alright, this is just gonna be, a quick video about some of the thoughts, that I have about the so-called freedom fighters that you got out here. Alright, the scoffers that come on board and all of that, man. Alright. And pretty much we know in the spirit what they've been set up to do. Alright, in fact I can start off in the book of Ecclesiasticus, the second chapter, which kinda talks on that. In fact, it goes straight right to the point. In if I search this scripture out, which talks about scoffers, behold in the last days, scoffers were gonna come, man. And which is in the book of 2 Peter, the third chapter. And the third verse. Alright, so this is 2 Peter 3:3. It says, knowing this first, that they shall come in the last days, scoffers, walking after their own lust. Alright? So that's one of the reasons, and that's how one of the identifications, alright, that we're in the last days. Because if you cast your mind back, man, alright, if you was a year ago, a couple of years ago, alright, we didn't have the quantity, right, the vast quantity of scoffers, men that were in the fold and that fell off, alright, because the scripture says, if they came, of which first and foremost, that's just, it's just, so what I'm looking for here, a disclaimer, man. I pray for Yahweh, man. I pray that I don't lose this truth, man. Right, that I don't get cast out to the side, that I am of the fold, that I am of the elect, man. Whether that means to die for this truth, alright, and be raised up in them chariots, or whether that means, making it straight on the chariots and going through the temptations that the scriptures speak about. Alright, the end or be all of it, man. You want an honorable death. And the guys that you see scoffing, like the scripture says, in the last days you're gonna see scoffers walking after their own lust, or after their own lusts. They ain't gonna get that honorable death, man. In that, if the Most High has mercy on you and you happen to be of the elect, man, alright, your death is, you might die one of those horrible deaths like that's spoken about in the book of Maccabees, Isaiah, right? I believe Isaiah was killed and he was cut in a tree. All the apostles were killed off, man. Those were honorable deaths, man. Alright, death in battle. And you watch them ninja movies and all of that, man. So them so-called samurai movies, not necessarily ninja movies, but them samurai movies, they speak heavily about a good death. And that all comes back because we was, that culture that they have now, man, that transpired off of our culture because you got a lot of Jake among them, man. The greatest samurais would have had to been Jakes, man. I'm not putting that out there to push out, but it makes sense that they would have been Israelites. Alright, so that culturing that they have, those principles that they live by, right? One would believe that those principles would have been derived from the truth. And to die in the heat of battle, man, is a good death. But to die because you was scoffing, you was making mockery of the men that the Lord set up, that's not a good death, man. Alright? In fact, the scripture goes into saying, they shall have their shame. Alright? So you're going to come in the other side, and you're going to come as newborn babes, you're going to come as our children, but you're going to have your shame upon you. Also, the scripture says, blessed is he that's not a partaker, roughly paraphrasing, a partaker of the second death. Alright? Which is going to be those nuclear missiles that's going to come by way of Russia. See, and that's another point I wanted to touch on, is that all of these guys you got out here, man, making their comments here, all right. And then I'm sometimes you surprise me how quickly you respond back, because it might be 3 days and then I finally, because I watch the videos on. You got so many devices you can watch YouTube on. You can watch YouTube on your phone. You can watch it on the tablet, like on the tablet here, man. All right, you can have it. You can load up YouTube on your TV, man. All right, use your phone and you tether your phone with your TV. You can beam the signal to YouTube and it's right on your TVs. You don't even really have to. Most of the time, I don't even have the PC on, man. So I, get the laptop out and that, man. And they say, boom, all of this, that, and this made all of these comments. You read the comments, you're like, oh, yeah, nothing to be expected. But I respond back, and within seconds, you already responded, man. It's like, God damn, you really ain't got nothing to do with all of this stuff that's happening in the world right now, with the precipice of war with Russia. All right, that's a fact of life, man. You never hear no one scoffing about the war with Russia, man. You never hear no one scoffing about that, man. All right, but because they stumbling blocks set up within the scriptures, people like to what's the word I'm looking for here? Discredit the scriptures, man. All right, because you can't understand the rape doctrine or the fact that Cornelius was an Israelite, because you can't understand that, you've made the whole scriptures void. All right, there's certain things that that not everybody's gonna 100% get, because the knowledge has been divided onto the different parts of the body that make up the body of Yahweh Shai, that make up the body of the church, man. It means to say, if you don't know it, someone's gonna be able to break it down for you in a way that you can understand. And even if you don't understand, you pray it unto the Most High, and in time you will understand. All right, but you got a lot of emotional jakes out there, of which, hey, man, when I pray how say, if I be one of those emotional jakes, those emotions get put far from me, man, because those emotions all come down to vanity and that, man. And Scripture says, man, remove the vanity away from me. All right. So the point I was making is, all of those different little stumbling blocks that the Most High set up to sift out the elect away from, to sift the tares from the wheat, to sift the elect, all right, and sift away, the gunk, man, the muck, and all of that, all right, all those different stumbling blocks, they come up to that, and suddenly the whole scriptures is this and that, man. They suddenly, it discredits the whole scriptures, man. But there's certain things that are so evidently clear. It's like, damn, you really going up. You see, my whole thing is, if you got a problem with something and someone, man, you're supposed to deal with it, man, first and foremost. But let's say you do fall out, man. Doesn't mean the scriptures there's stuff in the scriptures that is so evidently clear, like the war with Russia and Iran and all of that, man. That it's like, okay, right, I don't get this bit. I'm stumbling on this. Let me ask someone to break it down for me. That's what all you have to do, man. Right, the same thing with the rape understanding, man. Right, you got guys out here that would have fallen out, would have stumbled that and fallen out with it. Does that mean other parts of the scriptures is disallowed because you don't understand that point? No, man. And within your minds, that's why it eats away at you. And really, that's why you stay on the comment boards, because the comment boards and scoffing help you to justify, right, the way that you're living, man. All right, it helps you to justify your actions. All right, to justify, falling at the truth, man. Because ultimately, if you was just to sit there and you go about your normal life, man, all right, let's say you fell out the truth and you was going about your normal life, man, this thing will eat at you, man. Because you might have stumbled at one bit, but the bits that you understand, man, they're as clear as glass, man. As clear as water, man. As clear as crystal. So that'll be eating at you. So, like I said, I'm gonna read this scripture again. It says, knowing that this verse, and they shall come in the last days, scoffers walking after their own lust. So that's one of the main reasons you got a lot of scoffers right now, because we're in the last days, all right. And as I've said on previous videos before, man, okay, the Most High has set up these scoffers as a means of sharpening up your sword, man, as a means of keeping this truth moving. See, one scoffer's gonna talk about something else, yeah, all right, and you know what? Maybe the first time it wouldn't have been brought out with such clarity, all right. So you have it to where the elders go into it, man. When they break it down to these intricacies, man, it's a damn beautiful thing, man. You can see that the Most High is using these guys as like a sandpaper, man, to sharpen up your sword, man, to get sharp, man. And that's a damn beautiful thing. So you got these different scoffers out there. Have fun with it, man. Right? Because, hey, what do they say, man? When you're learning, have some fun, man. So have fun with these guys, man. All right? Play with it, man. Get into the scriptures. Get into the scriptures. Don't get emotional about it. The guy don't have the truth, man. He ain't got it. He ain't got the 100, man. So have some fun with it, man. All right? And in so having fun, you become sharper, all right, and more perfect in the scriptures. And as the scripture says, be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. All right. So, something with myself, man. I'm gonna try my best to have fun with these guys, man. right? Toy with their mind, man. Because I know the scriptures be cutting, man. That's why you do it over and over again. Because if you don't do it, you kill yourself, man. All right, you would kill yourself, man. You have nothing better to do, man. All right, you've gone from one extreme of being within the and this is general because I got one person in mind right now. All right, but this really applies to all the scoffers that have been before this guy and will come after, man. So I'm keeping it general, man, because this video, once this video loads up, right, I could just re-upload it when another scoffer comes on the scene. So it's not a big deal, man. All right, I'm just gonna have fun with you guys, and through the spirit, how shall Lord's will, man. We get sharper within the scriptures by so-called battling on the keyboards with you, man. But ultimately, man, you're insignificant to my life, man. I look at I look in the comments. I'm like 3 days behind your comments, man. And I respond. It's been like 3 days, and within a minute you already responding, man. You ain't got nothing to do, man. I thought you fell out the truth. All right, I thought you fell out the truth, but that's how it goes, man. You can't really leave this thing. All right, the only way you can leave this thing is to die, man. You're gonna either die when the missiles, man. You're gonna die when them Edomites come in and run up in your house, because you got guys out there that made allegiance with Esau and that, man. All right, and they think they're in a good case, right? Because they were in, they got Nate out there who's got 4-1 chief and he's got an agreement with these Edomites to bring this word out a certain way. But in that day, he's on the same list as we are, man. All right, so ultimately, man, the best thing to do is just to get into this word, use these guys for what they are, all right, and that's gonna keep you 100, man. All right, that's gonna have it to where you're not stagnant. All right, there goes another comment about the same guy. Damn joke. Anyways, man, with that, I'm gonna say double honors to the apostles of GMS. All right, honest you brothers that be pushing this truth and sincerity. Have some fun with these guys, man. All right. Ultimately, they're gonna be destroyed, and hey, I pray y'all try don't bug out like these dudes, man. All right, but I'll, through the through using these guys and getting into the different things that we might go into, I'm gonna get a more perfect understanding of the scriptures, man. All right, say shalom.